Hello, Fightful Faithful. Welcome to an episode of the Tuesday NXT Review Show. Just a regular Tuesday. Nothing else happening on this Tuesday. And we're going to talk about NXT. I'm Alex, and this is Kate.
The NXT post show for March 17th, 2026, which is, there is something special about this date. It is Booker T Appreciation Day. So get in your super chats, get in your humper chats at humperchats.com. Leave a thumbs up on this video. And by God, if you haven't subscribed to Fightful Select, in the words of Linkin Park, what the hell are you waiting for? Would you like some scoops that are on Fightful Select?
Yeah, sure.
People want, because we had WrestleVotes Radio breaking the news that picked up today that people at WWE are hired to watch and track AEW, like some sort of interpromotional wrestling stalker.
That sounds weird.
We did have a story about NXT, just clarifying why some talent start on NXT instead of the main roster and why others don't. The key point to that just being that they have a TV show to run, like that there is a big aspect to it of needing cornerstone talent to hold down ratings, but also some more details about some specific talent. But your Joe Hendrys, your Ricky Saintses, your Blake Monroes, your Ethan Pages of the world are in NXT for a reason. More on that, but why Royce Keys didn't go to NXT, also on Fightful Select answers all the time. Go over there and subscribe. Best $5.99 in the biz.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
Luis, he's obviously quoting Booker T in his most quotable
Sure.
What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Dash Booker T. We will be quoting Booker T all night long. Checks, championships, caviar, something. Champagne wishes, caviar dreams, which I don't believe was his actually, but let's be honest, Booker T made it his own. You know what I mean? I
can't say I've ever dreamed of caviar.
Yeah. No. I mean,
I don't know if I've really wished for champagne either. I understand the intent of the phrase, but I'm just saying it doesn't really apply to me.
Is it like instead of, if you can't find a star to wish upon, you wish upon a bottle of champagne?
A little bit of the bubbly, perhaps.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
For sure. Yeah. D Skills H-Town says, attended the show tonight. The crowd was hot. The crowd was hot and a fantastic venue for a show.
Yes.
Really,
very
really
much
liked it. Really liked what it looked like.
Fun.
You know? Mm-hmm.
I don't want to brag, but I could tell D Skills H-Town was from Houston before I even read the chat because of my deductive skills about what H-Town means.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was Harrisburg, but I was wrong.
Weirdly, as on the map as Harrisburg, Pennsylvania is, that is not usually what H-Town refers to.
Mm-hmm.
You learn so much on an episode of Sauerkraut.
You do.
It's so true. We got some more chats to open up with before we dive into this. I wouldn't say a bad episode of NXT, but a little less eventful maybe than I was kind of expecting. But Jim Duker says, in my world, it's Kate and Alex Appreciation Day. I never remember to book Booker. Well, thank you so much for appreciating us on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
We also have my dad chiming in saying, top of the morning to the SGS. I don't know why he would say that. On a frozen St. Patrick's. Is it St. Patrick's Day?
You know what? I had heard something about that. And I just went in one anywhere at the other. I completely forgot. It's St. Patrick's Day today.
I would have prepared if I had known, but
I would have worn something out of the ordinary You know,
Sure.
something I don't normally wear on Tuesday to signify my festiveness around the St. Patrick's Day spirit. But alas, I did not do that.
Maybe we'll be able to celebrate like in 3 weeks, like how sometimes NXT just does stuff later, and we'll think of it. But yeah, may the luck of the Irish be better for us than it was for Patches O'Land. Here's to the keeper of the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, JW Pringle. Thank you, Dad. And man, I should have texted with him earlier. He could have reminded me it was St. Patrick's Day, which I, of course, am in no way acknowledging.
No.
But Gray Cherry also saying, is this the Krusty Krab? No, it's St. Patrick. Hope all yins had a great day. Kiss me, I root for the Fighting Irish. Happy 5 years to DMD and Rosa. Yeah. 5 years of one of the best women's matches in AEW history for sure. One that I was like, this is going to change the course of things in the women's division. It did not it took a long time for them to turn around the women's division, but a phenomenal match between the two of them.
Yep. Well, I suppose we should talk about NXT. It's they're on the road in Houston, and Houston is where
H-Town.
Booker T is from. So they're doing Booker T Appreciation Night, and I thought it was all for an angle where Keanu Carver would attack Booker T and ruin his night. Well, I swear to God, the incompetence of these people who run this show needs to be studied. We must get some scientists on this to see, because it's off the charts.
I did attack him.
They'll well, no, I was calling for him to be put through a table or something, and like really take him out. He walked toward the ring saying "shut up" a lot, and then they decided to turn Jacob Marley into a baby face. So that's part of the incompetence of this company, this particular brand of this company, that again should be studied by scientists, so that we may stop this incompetence from spreading to the general public. I don't know if there's a vaccine they could develop. However, if there was, that would probably be banned by the people in charge of this country. Speaking of which, a Cybertruck is how Booker T drove to the arena. So in case you were wondering if he is as much of an idiot in real life as he purports to be on television, yes. And also Vic Joseph saying, "Your souped up Cybertruck, I know how proud you are of that." So not only does he drive it, but he's really proud of it and how souped up it is. But he is here, and it's his night in Houston. Is there a company more overall gotten to by literally everything? There was no way they were going to do this if he was not named worst announcer by the Observer Awards, a thing that they say that they do not pay attention to. No chance.
Well, I don't know, because they were in Houston and he's the commentator, so they might have just put 2 and 2 together.
They've been in Houston before and not done this.
When was NXT in Houston? I only remember them going to ghost towns that were not ghost towns.
No, they've gone to Houston. They've gone to Houston for one of their, regular NXT episodes, and we're taking it on the road. We're in Houston this week. They've done that. If there was a 2025, it was definitely 2024. It was definitely while Booker T was on commentary, and there was no Booker T appreciation night.
Here's what I appreciate. The chat has gone rogue and just decided they appreciate Ian Riccaboni instead.
Let's all appreciate Ian Riccaboni, a man who deserves our appreciation.
He does. That would certainly have to be an Allentown, Pennsylvania situation for the Allentown Iron Pigs that he loves so much. But Yeah, you said it before too, just like opening to the venue was awesome. Very happy about that.
Yeah.
Cybertrucks look ridiculous. They look like playground slides on wheels and
Mm-hmm.
they're silly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I it's fine. Like I like certainly from a career standpoint, he deserves it, but I'm just glad that he showed up since Stone Cold was not at 316 Day yesterday.
Now, that is funny. That
I
is funny.
We're doing back-to-back tribute nights. At least this guy showed up. I really thought maybe Danhausen
Maybe
was coming cursed.
maybe the 17th of March could be Booker T Day, because I don't think there's another holiday that falls on March 17th.
No, certainly not.
You know how 316 is Stone Cold Day. Well, 317 could be Booker
Sure.
T Day, because again, I don't believe it's actually
It wouldn't have to share it. It wouldn't have to share it with anything else, which is nice. But I did get a request to stop the lights on my frames, which I will oblige to because I think I'm going to give myself a seizure. I made a joke about seizures after that terrible thing that happened at that indie show, but can I wear them?
Yeah, well, no.
Is it a problem if I wear them not blinking? Is everybody okay?
Yeah, no, they're not. No, I turned off the blinkies on my normal necklace.
We're same seas.
Yeah, that's good. All right, we're good. Sounds good. Fantastic.
Analysis complete.
Yeah. Boy. We started out with Jacy Jayne versus Zaria versus Sol Ruca. The only, here's the deal. They obviously don't want to do the right thing. Again, the incompetence which needs to be studied. The right thing is to put the title tonight on Sol Ruca and have Zaria take it off of Sol Ruca one-on-one, a stand and deliver. Have Zaria take the title and hold it for the rest of 2026. Let her be the mountain that no woman can climb, because if they get to the top of that mountain, it's just Zaria punching down brick walls up there. You know what I mean? You have no shot of beating her, she's punching down brick walls. So that would be something smart to do, but they've decided to be incompetent. And so they decided to keep the title on Jacy Jayne. However, I will say this. If you're going to tell me we need to keep the title on Jacy Jayne in this three-way, I really liked how they did it.
Me too. I did when I saw this was opening, I was like, oh, Jacy's retaining. I really liked the match that we got, and I did actually like the finish quite a bit. I liked how we got here. I'm also just so excited to get to see Zaria. Like, I'm excited to see the spears. I'm excited to see the F5s. We had that not so great Soul Snatcher. This has been a couple of times now with Soul where the Soul Snatcher just hasn't looked as consistent as it has. My theory is she changed gear, like she changed boots that she's wrestling.
Maybe.
She's not getting like the yips about it. I hope it's not a Chuck Knobloch situation for all my Yankee nostalgia fans out there. But this one, it seemed like she just like caught the ropes on or the apron on the way down. So that was scary, but she recovered all right. And it was nice to see this triple threat because all three of them are so different. And I don't know, I thought they put it together in a compelling way. Yeah. It's so hard to tell of like, we've been saying it for a few months now of like, they could get called up tomorrow. They could get called up at the end of next year. Like, who knows? So I don't know if that would be something that comes into play in the booking here.
Yeah.
But it certainly felt like they had an opportunity to do something and put the title on Soul and then have Zaria go absolutely nuts trying to get it. But I just, who knows who knows if they even know what the plans are for the names to get called up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. The way it ended was Soul hit the Soul Snatcher on Jacy Jayne, went to cover because earlier uh Zaria had hit the F5 on Jacy, but Soul broke up the pin. And then a couple minutes later, Soul hit the Soul Snatcher on Jacy, and Zaria, who was outside, grabbed her leg and pulled her out of the ring. Hit the F5 on Soul on the outside of the ring, and then rolled her into the ring, presumptively to pin her. But when she got back in the ring, as she was getting in the ring, she was dragged. She was stopped. Her feet were grabbed by both Laney and Fallon. And so she had to deal with them on the outside. And I like that she said, okay, I'm not letting that happen again. I'm going to take you bitches out permanently. So she put down Laney hard, and then she hit the F5 on Fallon. This will come into play later for Fallon. But she hit the F5 on Fallon on the outside as well. And then she gets back. But while she's doing that, Jacy, barely conscious, has rolled over and draped an arm across unconscious Sol Ruca. And she somehow is able to get out of it. This is one of those things where the chicken shit heel who doesn't really want to fight, like Jacy's very good, but they've made her into that doesn't want to fight chicken shit heel. I don't want to defend my title ever, but I still think I'm the greatest champion ever. It's that kind of terrible stuff. But this is the point where this is a hell of a thing for her to get through. Sol Ruca is an amazing athlete and certainly would be a former world champion if they had booked everything right. Zaria should be this amazing feat of strength that you can't topple. And so her winning a triple threat would be very difficult, as evidenced by this match. So her somehow finding a way to win because she just had enough smarts upstairs to get the pin on unconscious Sol Ruca makes her the kind of champion that you go, jeez. Like, it's that kind of thing. That's the right kind of heel heat we should be building with Jacy Jayne. And Zaria almost getting back in to stop it and not. That gets her pissed off, which I didn't understand later was how Sol Ruca thought she had any claim to anything. Later, she was like, I'm so sick. I should be the champion right now. I mean, it's a triple threat.
Yeah.
It's a triple threat. You got pulled out of the ring by another competitor in the triple threat. Zaria has some kind of, beef here because it's the two Yahoos on the outside who had to do something, not a legal competitor in the match. Pinfalls are broken up all the time in triple threat matches. So anyway, I thought that they actually handled this part very well. And it looks as though we're just moving Sol and Zaria away from the title for the time being. So they can deal with each other in a non-title match.
I really was hoping that wouldn't be the case, but like this whole chase has been revolving around titles of some sort. I think I said this a couple weeks ago of like the North American title, the speed title, Sol being a double champ. Like there's been this mounting jealousy, and that it feels like that story should translate to the NXT women's title because that's the grandbaby of them all if you're a women's wrestler in NXT.
Right.
So it really feels like that should be the case. They could still engineer something to get there, but that's funny. The one grievance I had is the one that you just called out of like, well, no, like you're allowed to break up pinfalls in a triple threat. That's the way it's supposed to go. And of all the things to be annoyed with Jacy Jayne for, that's not the one that you get to be mad about. Sure. Yeah. So I did quite like this match a lot, and Jacy really has blossomed in this title reign despite it not being my favorite way and me feeling like it was such a weird decision to put the title on her when she did. Like, I think the thing that we knew about her was it wasn't a lack of her being a really good wrestler, and we've at least gotten to see that. So that's very refreshing. nobody in this match is like, too green for the moment, which is good.
Yeah.
Like, you don't
Yeah.
want things to be too green, not around these parts. But Tom LaValle said that my non-blinking glasses are great. Like Ian Riccaboni. Ian is great. I'll let you guys know a little something.
Yeah.
I went to an AEW taping in Allentown, and I messaged Ian Riccaboni because I was like, this has to be amazing for him. Like, this is his whole... He said that was his WrestleMania, was getting to call AEW in his hometown of Allentown. It's like, you're the most wholesome person I've ever seen. So.
It's very nice.
Do you think... I bring this up because we're historically so great at measuring when people get called up.
Yeah.
Do you think the hesitation to finish the story around the title might be because they do have eyes on moving Soul up? Like, they don't want to be like, strap her up and Stand to Deliver, and then...
Well, no, you should do the thing that I said, which is Soul wins tonight and Zaria beats her at Stand and Deliver. That way you can always say Soul is a former NXT Women's Champion because she should have been by now. Like,
I'm
you know
sure
what I mean?
They'll do that for 2 days when she's already on the main roster and has to come down for some reason.
Yeah, they might do that. They could do that. That's very possible. By the way, since we just found out during the show that it's St. Patrick's Day, let's do St. Patrick's Day and Irish puns. By the way, like I had completely forgotten before we were doing this show that it was St. Patrick's Day. But yeah, I feel like we should probably do that. Yeah.
Touche. Good call. Good audible to call. Good audible. Yeah. We have a couple more chats here, Alex.
Oh, good. We
got this one from Tim McFowell saying, Kalex Appreciation Day. I love this. Everybody just deciding what to appreciate themselves. I showed up a bit late, so I'm watching from the beginning at double speed, and I might have a seizure from the blinking lights. And I'm also watching the World Baseball Classic, and all I can say is Vamos Venezuela. All right. All right. I'm so excited for baseball season. I've missed it.
Yeah.
So much. And we, of course, have our resident chat from Josh, who says, these MF spitting, happy shenanigans day. Actually, that's every day for this MF. Well, thank you so much. It was his birthday over the weekend. So of any chat community that we have at Fightful, this is the one that hypes up the most. So
yeah,
hype up Josh D for his now belated birthday, but nonetheless.
Kate, can I tell you what made me the angriest about today? And there were some things. God,
it's so hard to guess.
There was.
I'm out of focus. Go on.
I feel like I'm watching you through glaucoma. Okay, so anyway,
I gave everybody stigmatism just then.
That's good. Here's the deal. Backstage. Well, not this part. The next part. Wren talking to Charlie Dempsey. Hey, you've been ghosting me. You really are going to give up everything about the NQCC to go hang out with these guys? And it says, well, I'm glad you have the Wren QCC now. You found something that speaks to you. And looks like I had to go and find that as well. Which is a really mature way for Charlie Dempsey to describe turning on his former friend Tavion Heights and joining this group of absolute losers.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like it's a weird way, like, sometimes you gotta find your people. The ones that make you feel whole. You gotta find people, that speak to your soul. And I'm like, I feel like that's not what this guy should be angry about it, but he's not. Anyway, he leaves. That's not what I'm angry about. What I'm angry about is the next part. Kendall Gray says, you're going to go and win the Speed Championship, and I am going to win the world title from Jacy Jayne at Stand and Deliver. I vacated the Evolve Women's title so I can focus on getting a title shot at Jacy Jayne. You already got one while you were the Evolve Women. I don't think that precludes you from getting another one. Also, you what? They let you what? They told you to what? Vacate the Evolve title? You can't put over somebody on the way out of Evolve? What the hell is Evolve for?
Of any program to vacate the Evolve title is extremely unserious. And I think her last match was with Tyra May Steele, which makes it even more stupid.
You put her in a multi-woman match. She's not the one who gets pinned. She loses the title. She goes up. It's the easiest thing. The incompetence of these people must be studied in a peer-reviewed study. I want to see it in medical journals. And what I have been told is that after Jackson Drake's next defense, he's going to vacate too. Are you serious? What the hell is Evolve for if not to crown the next champ by beating the former champ when the former champ moves from Evolve to NXT? How are all of you so terrible at this?
Take it from us, the most mentally sound duo.
We are so mentally sound and so competent.
Look at us. Look at us. Do we seem like two people that are some sort of joke in this space?
No, we take things very serious and somber.
Yeah, we do. I can't think of a brand that it makes less sense to vacate for in so many levels, but one like the legacy of Evolve is not something you have to protect in these belt lineages. Like, what are we doing?
If the idea is
it's your least watched product, man. No one's gonna be like, oh, she's such a loser because she lost the Evolve title. Like,
if the idea is we don't want to pin Kendall Gray before she beats Jacy Jayne and becomes the women's champion, then just do the thing I said. Pick the top 2 contenders in Evolve, put them in a match with her in a triple threat, and have one of them pin the other challenger, and then she goes up. It's the easy. You should never vacate while healthy. Ever. Ever, 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 never. There's never a reason to do it. Ever. Because you can do the exact thing that I'm saying.
Of that same belief. These glasses are giving me a bit of a headache. Or was it NXT? Who knows? But
now there's some wording that I have seen is that she gave it up so that she could get a shot, meaning like she gave it up in exchange for. If they are doing a thing where like it's whatever call option C with the X Division title in TNA, where you can say, here's my Evolve title, and I am vacating it in exchange for a guaranteed world title shot in NXT. If you want to say that's the new rule, that's different. But as far as I know, that is not the rule.
I also sometimes, even on NXT, a lot of times on NXT, we have to look at things that make no sense and say, long term, though, the goal of NXT is to develop talent, right? So we'll be like, that heel turn was out of nowhere and didn't make sense, but they obviously do this thing where they want to see what your likable size is. Like, we do that. With Evolve, I feel like it's the most clear missioned thing. And I feel like vacating titles is the most... Is antithetic a word? It's the antithesis of what their mission is.
It's antithetical.
Antithetical. Again, we are very serious if we use big words here on the show.
That's right.
Antithetical.
Yes. Yes, as you called it last night, persipicunctors, or whatever. What'd you say?
Persifunctant.
Persifunctant.
We talked about Just Shoot Me and Suddenly Susan and all these incredible B and C level sitcoms on Sour Graps last night. You should definitely subscribe. Like, scoops are cool. Sean works really hard, but you're there for the Just Shoot Me talk.
Yeah.
To be so
for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like it's so against the mission. Like, you should be able to pass it along to someone else so that, the whole point of Evolve is to be able to develop people to take the next step and to like, I don't know. It feels so antithetical to the mission of what Evolve is. And I find that extremely unserious. And it's not like they play clips from Evolve on NXT. You know what I mean?
It's not.
So
No.
like even your way is the best way out because you don't actually have to get pinned. But like even if she got pinned, like it's not like that's really NXT canon or main roster canon. You know what I mean?
I mean, like I understand that sometimes those matches are dangerous, but put it up in a ladder match.
Yeah.
Like do something where she doesn't have to get pinned for it. It's I can't imagine like I think what is Alexa she had to vacate it, says Alexa Bliss Gamer, because she's leaving Evolve. No, she doesn't have to vacate it. You could book her in a match with two other women where one of them pins the other and she loses the title. She doesn't have to. There's all kinds of, or for God's sakes, have her lose in a protected way because the person who beats her for it cheats. You do that all the time.
You do that anyway.
Why would she anyway.
Also, like Micah Lockwood, the former Bailey Humphries, is right there. Like, is there a harm in taking a loss to that woman? Like, I don't know. It just, I hate it. I didn't like Samoa Joe vacating his TV title at ROH. The last thing in the world that I'm gonna be like, that's fine, is this. Like, no, this is the worst.
No. Anyway, Lola Vice says, I know you want that title too, but I am here. I am holding my one half of the mixed tag titles in Triple A that I hold with a guy who has an iguana puppet. So I am also very serious. And I am also looking at that title, and you're going to have to go through me if you want it.
We're at a point where Lola needs something because she can't keep losing title shots, and we can't have like another title adjacent story that revolves around her hand for so long. Like that just can't be a thing. So they need to either write a title adjacent story that gives her a character, which I've been begging for a long time.
Yeah.
Or they need to have her win something. Doesn't feel like she's in line to win either of the women's titles. So they should give her, because she's getting into like Biggest Loser syndrome a little bit.
Ricky comes out to complain about Joe Hendry and how he wants a title shot. Ethan Page comes out and says, hey, actually, I was the one who pinned him, so and maybe I should get a title shot. And then let's call out. It's like, well, no, you should call out Miles Bourne, so you can become the 2-time NXT North American champion. I would call him out if I wanted to be the 2-time North American champion, but actually what I want to do is I want to be the 2-time NXT champion. So I'm going to call out Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry comes out, and my God, is this man is damp toast. He is just like not soggy, just like a spritz of water got on it, and it's like not, and there's you don't need butter or jam. It's just slightly toasted bread and it's a little damp. That's what Joe Hendry is to me at this point. He's just, and so he coming out like, yes, everyone wants to see me. I'm like, I'm sure most of these people do. He got a big ovation in Houston, but I'm like, and I'm like, when I'm watching Ethan Page and Ricky Saints going back and forth doing this amazing, like, I'm not a big fan of you right now. However, I like you a hell of a lot more than I like this other guy thing. And I love that they're yelling at each other. I want to be the champion. No, I want to be the champion. I don't. And then they immediately punch Joe Hendry at the same time. I thought that was tremendous. That was great. And then Joe Hendry easily just gets over on both of these guys, and I'm like, really? And then out of nowhere, saving us all is Tony D spearing Joe Hendry in half, and then doing his giant Farouk spinebuster to both Ethan, 250 pounds, 245 pounds, Ethan Page. Got him up like, he got him way up there like he was nothing. And they did it to Ricky Saints. That was great. I may have inadvertently shouted in the SGS Discord, Tony D, please bust my spine next. I don't know what came over me, but it was just like, that's what I may have shouted in the Discord. So I really love watching Tony D wreck fools. And I would feel honored if you wanted to wreck me. I'm just saying I would feel honored. But he looks great. Looks great.
We don't have Blue Chew sponsoring the show.
I was trying to give you an in, but I mean, I guess not.
But we don't like, I mean, I would have loved that. And like, if you were to put money down on which sponsor we have most frequently, it would be
true.
Blue Chew. Yeah. But that's not who we have tonight.
Mm-hmm. No.
We do have a sponsor.
Yeah.
That does have to do with putting money down on things, though. But
well, that's good.
Things like that.
No,
important things like floorball.
Like floorball. Yes.
And pro wrestling.
Yes.
Alex,
yeah.
I'm gonna play this ad.
Okay.
For my bookie.
Yeah.
From Sean, but I just want I need to know, are you like the floorball odds maker? Like, do you have a separate deal?
No.
Okay, I didn't know.
No. I feel like I feel like I have too much inside information. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would be a little weird.
It would be a little weird, you know. Plus, then if I was making the odds, I couldn't put down bets on it. I couldn't make that sweet cashish on floorball.
And we're going to tell you all about how you can.
At MyBookie AG, they say that you can bet on anything, anytime, anywhere. And they mean it. NBA, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, UFC, pro wrestling. But that's not it. Motorsports, golf, tennis, darts, cycling, cricket, handball, floorball, rugby, snooker, volleyball, table tennis, cycling. Yeah, you can bet on it at MyBookie AG. They got the best support system in the business. We only want you to bet what you can, and please bet responsibly. But go take advantage of being able to bet on anything, anytime, anywhere. They got live esports. They got racing. They got everything at MyBookie AG. And right now, get a $50 bonus when you deposit $100 or a $100 bonus when you deposit $200. You can bet with Bitcoin and play their great casino games as well. MyBookie AG.
MyBookie AG. Use the code FIGHTFUL for all your floorball booking needs. Also pro wrestling.
Yeah. True.
Jim Beard saying WWE turned Joe Hendry into toasted mayo covered bread. At least on the indies, he was pizza bread. Damp toast definitely sounds like an improv troupe that my sister taught at one point. Like she's, like that's got that written all over it. But they just they really zapped what made him special in an effort to make him feel like a champion. I've been beating that drum for a while, but it certainly feels that way. Like, they didn't know how to make him feel like a champion within the framework that he was working, which means one, maybe he just isn't world champion. And two, you should be better at your job. You should be able to do that. You should be able to keep what makes someone special and turn them into a champion.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I was just, I only say this because during the ad break, he showed up. But, I had forgotten that it was St. Patrick's Day today. I just
forgotten. Of course.
But there's a guy who remembered. He's been remembering St. Patrick's Day really hard all day, and he wanted to come on the show, and he was very belligerent. He has some announcement he says that he has to say. So I don't know. Okay. I guess here he is.
I'm here for it.
Hello, it's me. It's me. I'm Alexei Bulgarian puppet. But today, I'm Alexei Irish puppet. Is so. Hey, do you know that they make green beer today? I did not know. Hey, top of the morning to you. That's what somebody was saying that to me earlier today. They say top of the morning to you. So top of the morning to you.
Okay. Yeah. Have you ever had any beers before, or?
Well, I'm a puppet, so it's different for me because it's just the beer kind of soaks into the felt and it gets, it's kind of an all over buzz, but it's fine. So anyway, they are not only do they dye the beer green, do you know this? But in Chicago, they dyed the whole river green.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so what color is it normally? And they say it's blue. And I say, oh, because it's green every day in Bulgaria. That's just the runoff from the old nuclear plant, though. So that's why our river is green. That's every day. So it's fine. I may have had one or two too many.
You seem perhaps affected. We did get this chat that says, wouldn't it be like top of the morning be like 1 a.m.?
It would be, but here's the other thing. Do you know how they say it is 5 o'clock somewhere? Well,
Yeah.
it is also 5 a.m. somewhere. So top of the morning to you, wherever that is. So anyway, I wanted to come on this show because I have a very special announcement.
Oh, please.
I met somebody.
You met someone?
I met a girl at the bar. She's wonderful. She's Irish. Her name is Molly O'Shaughnessy. And do you want to come on the show? Come on the show. It's fine. Okay. See, she's very shy. She does not like to talk. Sure. But she's here and she's going to come. She's going to come on the show. Isn't she the cutest thing?
Oh my goodness.
She is the light of my life. Molly is just we're getting married. I asked her and she said yes. I met her today. Well, at happy hour. I met her at happy hour. I said, hey, you want to get married? And she said, hold on. She said yes. But here's the problem is that now I have to ask her father.
Oh goodness.
If it's okay. So
gotta do it properly, yeah.
He's here now, so I'm going to go and I'm going to go and talk to him and ask him a very important question if he will grant me the hand in marriage of his youngest daughter. So also I'm going to
the right frame of mind to ask that. You've had some liquid courage. You got
so
we're rooting for you.
I'm going to go talk to him. Hello, sir. I'm going to go talk to him about marrying his daughter, and also I am going to go puke in my hat. So
okay.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Top of the morning to you.
Good luck to both of those things. Alex, what is happening in
I don't
your
know,
house?
man. It wasn't. Sean got me a puppet because I was going to review Freddy Got Fingered. That's what happened, Kate. That's what happened.
That is what happened, isn't it? Oh, man. This is a wrestling review show. Did you know that?
I mean, allegedly. So let's talk about something that's also allegedly wrestling: the Birthright. So after last week, there was a scene filmed backstage, with William Regal and Fit Finlay sitting there, And they're going to go in. They're going to be in the tag tournament. Robert Stone's there, and William Regal wants to talk to him privately. And as soon as this happened, I was like, "No, William, what are you doing?" Because he says, "I've been looking at you, and I think that I'm going to talk to Shawn Michaels. We're going to make this interim general manager thing permanent." I was like, "No, there's so many other people you could use. Just not Robert Stone. He's so terrible at this. He is obviously so terrible at this. You've written him to be terrible at this. Why would anybody look at what he's doing and go, you know what? I think he should do this permanently." Nobody should do that.
I do think it is a misstep to have the greatest NXT general manager or maybe managerial figure on a show ever. Yeah. Be like, you know what? This guy who gets pushed around by Ethan Page and Ricky Saints and then later Joe Hendry. Yeah. This guy's got to be a permanent fixture. Yeah. As far as like out of kayfabe, like the character of Robert Stone, like I don't love how it's being written, but he's doing just fine with it. Like he knows what he's there to do.
Oh. Yeah, no, he's playing the part really well.
Yeah.
But the part is a guy who has no business being the general manager of a Denny's, let alone NXT.
This guy couldn't manage an effing Target, is what I heard. But Chad is saying that this segment is better than the Danhausen t-shirt thing last night. There were also calls for that you should have won an Oscar. It's a shame that you missed that by just a couple days here, but
that's fine. Well, no, but I'm still eligible for next year. So if anybody wants to go ahead and nominate me, that'd be good.
I think we'd be nominating Alexi. He kind of carried to that.
That's best supporting actor. Let's be honest.
Supporting actress on a wrestling review show, Molly O'Shaughnessy.
Yeah. Hey, I was really kind to you during the show tonight, and I gave you a heads up. Please should take some copious notes on this next match because I will not be watching it.
And honestly, if we're gonna bail on a match, I thought it would have been or something on the show. I thought it would have been the Birthright versus Hank and Tank, but you said no, it's Los.
I forgot that was happening. But no, I am so firmly against everything Grande and Americano. I'm even against things L. I'm against all of that. So it makes me so sad to watch Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne return to NXT as this, that I couldn't bring myself to watch it. And also, like, these guys were like super heel last night, and they're like the NXT crowd is a triple A crowd, so they were like cheering the hell out of them. This weird thing to like have them against the Vanity Project, but like they were getting all of these giant like reactions from the crowd. And I feel like they should decide that these guys are one thing or the other everywhere, as opposed to just on three separate brands, just being completely different.
When you said you were not going to watch what was up next, I genuinely was like, is it out of sequence? Like, is the Birthright up next? But no, it was this one. The thing is, like in Texas, because it's a lucha crowd, this is massively over. It's massively over in AAA. It's not massively over on Monday Night Raw and in random areas. Like it's not, and because of that, it's a different character depending on where you are in the world, which is weird.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now the good news is, it's still Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate and the Vanity Project are quite good. Like this match they're really to watch.
They're very good.
Crowd was super into it. They ate up the silliness and the actual wrestling that blended together, but the Vanity Project was mocking them a fair bit of this, which Los Americanos said, I take that personally. And things kind of got moving after that, and it turned into a really fun sprint. But we do have El Grande Americano using the loaded tinfoil mask headbutt to get in.
Yeah.
I didn't take copious amount of notes because it was honestly like ring wise, it's just a very very fun match.
I had it on mute because there's only so much Booker I can take, but I was glancing at the screen. I was just not paying attention.
Did not appreciate.
Yeah. And I watched the end of it, and didn't we just crown these dudes as the tag champs? Are the Americanos getting a title shot now?
That's what
we're holding a tournament to crown the next number one contenders, and as far as I know, the Americanos are not in it.
As far as you know, but Sean Legacy's injured, so maybe this was the.
No, we're talking about that later. They replaced Sean Legacy with Elio Lifley, and he and Eli Knight. It's Eli and Elio. It's Elio, and they're going to be a tag team instead.
That makes me think of Elio's Pizza from when I was a kid. That shit ruled. So this match was a lot of fun. Vanity Project's really good, and they're
really good. I wish I don't know.
They from considering they came through Evolve pretty quickly, they don't look overwhelmed in NXT at all. They don't
no.
They're very sure of who they are with this whole thing. So I'm glad about that because this tag division really needs that, and quite frankly, the whole product kind of needs that. So I do like that. But yeah, I had a blast watching it. It hurts my heart that this is what they have Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate doing. It sucks. But
yeah, it really does. When they came out wearing friggin' cowboy hats and ponchos, and then later they put on their cowboy hats so they could do a dive while wearing cowboy hats. It is just the most not for me that wrestling can possibly be. It's just
sure.
It's just I don't know. But dumbing down two of the greatest in-ring performers that I will ever watch it's so offensive to me that yeah.
My new take on shows has been to be there has to be somebody in the company whose chief responsibility it is to match wrestlers with what their ceiling is. And this is a perfect example of how not true that is. And considering on the other side of this angle, fucking creeds are getting fitted for lucha masks, I think my criticism on this is extremely valid because none of the people in this angle should be being used like that. None of them.
No,
I don't like it on the whole, but if you're gonna use guys like that, these are not the guys that you use like that. The amount of time we have wasted of Julius Creed's career about nothing absolutely sucks. And now Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne are in that because Pete Dunne was also Scrappy Doo for a while. He was freaking Butch running around with the Brawling Brutes.
I know. Yeah,
and it felt like we pulled him out of that to then throw him into this. It sucks. It sucks. However, they can go. So that part was fun. And that's also not NXT's.
No.
Weird.
I mean, what it's NXT's fault is you have Bravo and Rayo. I mean, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, they're not who those people, they have Bravo and Rayo. Two guys who never win anything. Ever. Have one of the freaking, the Swipe Right kids pin one of those guys.
Yeah,
there's no reason to have that team win when you're trying to build up Swipe Right, the Vanity Project, as something. There's no reason to bring in the ringers from the main roster and have them win just so the crowd can go yay. What are we booking for 5-year-olds? It doesn't make any sense to me. I
don't know if gimmick, but yes.
So let's see here. Tom Lavelli says old McMichaels had a farm. Elio.
You should call him up and sing that.
Because Sean Legacy apparently got hurt in the match last week because of his leg. He's got a leg injury. He is not cleared for this tournament that they are running here over the next 2 weeks. So he has to pull out. And then Robert Stone, who's a moron, is the character. Is standing there like, well, gosh, Eli, I'm really sorry, but with Sean Legacy injured, it looks like you will also have to be out of the tournament unless, I don't know, somehow you could find a partner. It's not like there's anybody who is also your friend who's standing right next to me. And then Elio is like, I'll do it. I'll be his partner. And Robert Stone's like, oh, well, I never thought of that. Yeah, sure, that's a good idea. Again, that's the character they've written for him. And William Regal is like, yes, I think you'll do very nicely as permanent GM. Like, at least write him to be smart and have William Regal, like, he might have been an idiot working under Ava, but since he's actually been the GM, have him be smart. Have him make good decisions. Have him like, there's a tough call between this person and this person. Let's figure out a way to make that work, and have William Regal notice that. Don't have William Regal lie and say that the guy who's been an idiot for weeks has shown him something and is a good candidate for general manager permanently. That makes William Regal into an idiot. Don't do that.
Yeah, I have a much bigger gripe with, or grape, depending on how you view the show.
Right, true.
With William Regal signing off on it than I do the character, because I kind of expected this. Like, he came in on short notice. He's always been kind of like lovably a buffoon. But William Regal's like, the William Regal that we've gotten to know over the years is not he doesn't take things lightly. So I don't know. I just like, and this, if William Regal's signing off on someone, I don't think this is the character he's signing off on.
No, I don't think so. Booker T Appreciation Night. Listen, if you told me that one half of my favorite tag team in the world in 1997 was going to grow up to be the worst commentator I had ever heard commentate about anything, I'd be like, I really hope that's not true. But it turned out to be true, because I loved Harlem Heat. And I really liked Booker as a singles guy in WCW. Like, he didn't really get to do a lot of good stuff in WWE, partially because Vince hates everybody who ever came from WCW. But like, it was fun seeing the highlights of what he was. You know what I mean? Like, all the stuff that, like, his legacy as a performer.
Sure.
But it's like the parts of the video package that made me just sad was like Stephanie Vaquer giving him credit for that move that she does.
Yeah.
Getting over. I mean, and getting over in the wrong way. So people are just like ogling her body and doing while she does a move. Like, and her being like, her saying how appreciative she was to Booker T for making that happen. And I'm like, really? Is that really what you think? Because that makes me think different about Stephanie Vaquer, and I don't want to. Also, like Trick Williams, you would have gotten over without him singing your dumb song when you came to the ring. You're an incredibly charismatic performer. If Booker T never goes, that's right, Trick Williams, if he never does that, you're still the big giant star you are. Don't give him credit for that. So stuff like that was like,
I think there was like a paved the way for performers like me kind of thing, which so that I don't mind at all.
Fine.
I so appreciate his contributions to not commentary. I so appreciate all of the like you said, the parts where they talked about his career and quite legitimately like was such an important performer, and they called out King Booker and all these things. I don't I don't, for me, I'm very picky about commentary being value add, and I don't feel like he adds a lot of value with his insight. Like it's just not what he's doing on commentary.
There is no insight. That's the thing. If he was goofy but actually occasionally dropped some knowledge, like he
Yeah.
straight up contradicts himself in the same sentence. He is very bad at commentating professional wrestling. Period.
Yeah. It just it feels like everybody except for Roxanne Perez, I've never heard him like have really strong insights about.
Yeah. But Keon Carver showed up, and I wanted him to slide into the ring and do some kind of like, what is Booker T cleared to take? Do that to him. I don't care what it is. But do that. And instead he comes out and is like, no, we're not going to honor this man. And everyone boos him. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. He says a lot. Shut up. But enough people get into the, like, try to stop him, and he knocks them over, and he gets into the ring as though he was going to attack Booker T. And a guy who was in the video package a lot was Jasper Troy. I mean, he's a very big guy who does some of the moves he does well and most of them poorly because he's very green. I called him the world's largest blade of grass. He is very, very green. He's very big, but he's very, very green. Like a green, obviously not something that is important on this day. You know, like this is not a very important day for green things. But anyway,
I wouldn't be caught.
He's a big angry heel. Obviously, that is his thing. And the idea that they have him come out to defend the honor of Booker T so we can get a Keanu Carver versus Jasper Troy match, please say not on the card of Stand and Deliver, with Booker T in Jasper Troy's corner and Jasper Troy firmly as the babyface. Again, the incompetence of this program, studied by professionals, peer-reviewed.
I again refer to my previous comment about recognizing where people are in their ceilings. There's lots of situations where someone who's ahead can help someone who's behind, but not like this isn't that combination because of where the gap is and where they're both at. Keanu Carver needs to be in a gold title hunt sooner than later, I think, because
he can't
be in built to be unstoppable, and the unstoppable guy doesn't just like to hang out. So, like, I was annoyed we didn't get a heat spot. Like, I felt like he should have done something with Booker, but
right, and he should have done something, but he did nothing. And this is what we've got going for Keanu Carver, as opposed to him deciding, looking at Miles Bourne and saying, "I want that." Like that's your NXT. That's your NXT. I mean, when you had him show up the way he did when Oba left in January, and they immediately were like, "What are we going to do now? We got to find a new contender." And Keanu Carver announced himself the way that he did, the very lowest on the totem pole he should have been by Stand and Deliver is #1 contender to the mid-card belt, not doing a match with Jasper Troy over whether or not Booker T is a good guy. You know what I mean?
Let's also not forget, like, Stand and Deliver is not WrestleMania weekend, so this might not be that, but Keanu Carver should be in something that has more meat on the bone, certainly.
Yeah, for sure. So we got Fallon Henley versus Wren Sinclair for the Speed title. It is odd to me also, like they in the first round, and I'm sorry that I'm this person. You write the stories, you agent the matches. Okay? In the first round of this tournament, Wren Sinclair is able to tap out Nikita Lyons with 4 seconds left on the clock. In the second round, she does it much faster to Thea Hale. And in the finals, she taps out Fallon Henley with over a minute and 20 seconds left on the clock. Wouldn't you do it in reverse order? That, like, it's Fallon is the champion, so her having to give up, even if there's only a few seconds left. But that's how. But if she had been able to hold on a little longer, Wren wouldn't have been the champion. But like, you do it in ascending order of dramatic, like suspense. You do it in ascending order, not descending order. That doesn't make a lot of sense. I did appreciate that they showed that Fallon had her shoulder all taped up from getting F5'd on the floor by Zaria earlier, and that is why when Wren put her in the cattle mutilation, she was done immediately. And I appreciated why that was happening. I think in order to make Fallon Henley look good, even in defeat, you have her being the champion, being somebody who's been in NXT for so long, obviously favoring that bad shoulder, but figuring out ways of getting away from that particular maneuver from Wren, because she knows if she gets put in it, that's curtains for her. But have her counter it, have her get away from it, have her slide out, have her spending time on the outside trying to formulate a new strategy, all that stuff, so that when, by the end, when she finally gets put in it with less than 10 seconds left, 10 seconds in that would be career threatening to her. She has to tap out. Like, that's, to me, is a better story than the one they told in this story. All that being said, super happy for Wren Sinclair. Hooray for her. She gets to be Speed champ. That's very nice. But you could have her still win the title while also making her opponent look better than they made her look in this match. Just, I don't know, you could do that because you write the stories and you agent the matches.
Yeah, I don't care with with speed matches, because I feel like well, one, I have a hard time caring about speed matches. I will say that's a me thing, because they have actually done a pretty good job of figuring out ways to produce these that are make stories make sense and are good matches. This title doesn't actually mean anything. The other thing is,
no,
I feel like with time limit stuff like this, I'm not talking like 20-minute time limit, but like, I feel like the stories of these matches are, you're trying to get a pinfall as soon as possible, or you're trying to get a submission as soon as possible. So I understand it. I prefer what you're saying, but I don't put a lot of stock in it, because I feel like the idea is like, I'm constantly going for it. So like, whenever it shows up is the way to go. I really did like the worked shoulder being like lights out, because it also makes the finisher look badass, and it also keeps it protected. Like, simple, clean, easy, beautiful way to go. This title is a prop, so I cannot care, because what happens then? There's a tournament, and then another person goes for it, and then there's a tournament, and like this. They haven't given me a reason to care.
Sure. My thing is, they're putting it on television, and so they need to care about it. They need to care about it. They need to book it like something you put on television. And whether or not we care about it, they're putting it on television. You have to actually treat it as though it is something that is good, that you put some effort into. And they don't.
Well, I feel like
they need to change that.
Structures are okay. Like, they've done an all right job with the match structures. And this is like, I guess, Wren's first taste of gold, and it's a character device that way. But I can't assign any gravity to it, because it was a Twitter joke, and now it's on television.
Yeah.
And it's 6 minutes. Like,
yeah. It is very funny. Also, I just wanted to mention this because it struck me as odd. They're in Houston, Texas. They announce for the that's Harrisburg. They announce Wren Sinclair from Texas. I don't like she's from Dallas. Do they think that the Houston crowd will boo Dallas if you tell them Texas? Like, is there that much of a like? It's her home state. I've never seen anybody
in the chat before can tell us because I don't. Maybe it's the Jets and the Sharks. I don't know.
I mean, I guess it is very odd to me that they were like from Texas. Don't ask where because you might boo her. That's very silly.
Don't ring it
that's very
to say that. From Texas.
From Texas.
Is H-Town? No. Which town is H-Town? We're gonna get a definitive answer on this. Houston or Harrisburg? I have no idea if I spelled Harrisburg right. But we're gonna take a poll. It's important. It's important that the people know.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Can't stress enough how serious we are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Great Cherry Brand saying it's Hartford.
So Houston, obviously. But
they will boo Dallas and Houston.
I mean, there's a lot. Okay. There's a lot of cities. Yeah. Huntsville, Alabama. Hartford, Connecticut.
As they say.
Huntington Beach.
That's HB Town. That's totally different.
That would be H Beach. That would not be a town. That'd be H Beach.
H Beach.
Let's see here.
I don't know what it is with these classes.
Hillsboro?
Go out of Hillsboro. There's a Hillsboro.
Hillsboro.
I like it.
Hampton, Virginia. That's good.
Sure.
Jim Beard is the capital of Pennsylvania. Oh wait, you're Canadian. I was like, your fourth grade teacher did a terrible job of teaching you the capitals. If you've never heard of Harrisburg, don't all kids have to learn the capitals? But I believe you are from Canada, and so no, I don't know what the capital of any of your provinces are.
It's stupid that it is. It should be Philadelphia. That's dumb. That's a dumb capital. What's in Harrisburg? Who cares?
I mean, I would assume people with the last name Harris. You know what I mean? Because it was probably named after somebody named Harris.
Really stretching on that one, huh?
I don't know. Hialeah, Florida.
H-Town, Florida. We got some more
Henderson City, Nevada.
What LT Photo says, Kate, check messages, leggy, blonde onion is done. I will check that. I don't know what about my internet history makes you think that I'm able to multitask on air, but I will not be testing the Wi-Fi today.
Hempstead, New York.
Hempstead,
Where's
all right.
Hempstead? Where's Hempstead?
Upstate, right? Hempstead?
I don't know where it is. It's the second most populous city in America, starting with H. Hempstead, New York has 800,000 people in it.
Hempstead is what people in New York City call upstate, but people where I'm from laugh at when people call it upstate. It's like it's on the outskirts of New York City.
Okay. I guess that makes sense.
Right? Let me check.
That 800,000 people is a tremendous amount of people in a city I have never heard of until today.
It's on Long Island. There you go.
Oh, well, there you go. Because Long Island is just Long Island to me. It's the Hamptons.
Also an H.
Mm-hmm. There you go. The H towns, as they call the Hamptons. We're going over to the H towns. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Good. Fantastic. Wonderful. What else happened? So
We got this one from Greg Cherry, who says, I like how it was brought up during the speed match that Fallon has won 3 titles in NXT, Speed, NXT Tag, and North American. I want her to get the next Grand Slam. You know what? That would be a cool...
It would be nice.
Cool for her.
They have a lot of women in that need to be NXT champion before Fallon Henley. They've put off a lot of them.
If that group broke up and like she was the one to be Jacy and then it was like a 2 defense title reign or something, that would be like a cool thing. If Zaria smushed Fallon Henley, it's the worst.
No, after this,
we also got this chat that says, I'm hoping Regal's... Are you a little laggedy?
No.
Am I a little laggedy?
We might be both laggedy.
We also got this chat from Ed, who I think is a new chatter around here. Thanks, Ed. Saying, I'm hoping Regal is planning to manipulate Stone and run NXT through him. Regal as NXT shadow manager for his group could be fun. Except of who that group is.
Yeah, no, that's the problem. But I do like the idea of...
Great. The parts are not.
I do like the idea of William Regal realizing how easy it would be to just get Robert Stone to do whatever he wants as a puppet.
That would be super fun. But I don't know how
not to make benefit Lexis King. Like, that's the problem I have here with this.
But then those puppets get drunk and it's a whole thing. You know what I mean?
No, we don't want that. We don't want that. Listen, I don't know. Yeah.
We also had this chat in the Americano talk that said, the sad part is I could see the Americanos adding a woman to the group, but it'll be Carmen Petrovich or Zoe Stark. Gosh, that is a personal nightmare of mine that you just gave me. I wonder, I'm going to ask Sean about Zoe Stark. Because it's been a long time.
Oh my God. Oh boy.
Shing Shing in a lucha mask?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It'll be the same motion, but she'll have maracas.
Okay, there you go. And it's just like one shing per.
Ricky Saints and Ethan Page are, hey, how dare Tony D ruin everything? I was just about to get my title. I mean, I was going to get my title. And I love that Ricky, Ethan Page Bugs Bunnies Ricky Saints's Daffy Duck. You know what? This guy right over here, he wants to have a match next week against Tony D. That's right, I do. Wait, I do? Like that. That's great. But what I kind of wanted it for Ethan Page to be like, just, I got this covered. Because I really do want them to work together most of the time. And right now it looks like Ethan Page wants to feed Ricky Saints to Tony D to get him out of the way. And what it should be is like, you have a match with him, but I'll be in your corner and I will make sure that you win the match. Like, that's what I think, that he should be letting Ricky in on that plan in the moment. But that he doesn't. So I think that will be a lot of fun. But I do love is like when he's like, oh wow, says Robert Stone, Ricky Saints versus Tony D'Angelo? That will be a great main event for next week. Like, he doesn't even see these guys conspiring in front of him. He's very silly.
And like, have you thought about your own thoughts? Like, what do you want to do? Robert Stone, be your own Stone. Like, what do you want on your show, Robert?
Be your own Bob. Be your own Bob.
Be your own Bob, Robert.
Be your own Bob, Robert.
I didn't realize you had 2 headbands on.
Obviously, it's not St. Patrick's Day until, I mean, it is, but it's not. What was our bit? I don't know. So it's Urana Connors and Stacks versus Hank and Tank. Remember how I was talking about this company, this division of the company, their incompetence needing to be studied by scientists, peer reviewed? I think maybe one of the largest reasons that needs to be studied is the demise of Hank and Tank. Like, them winning the titles the way that they did, like, honestly, it might be Shawn Michaels' greatest achievement as the head of NXT ever, is saying, we're going to do the story of Hank and Tank lose all the time and somehow become the champions. But we're going to do it in a way where they lose to these 4 teams, asking everybody for, like, how do we change ourselves to be better? And everyone eventually tells them, just be yourselves. And they get into a gauntlet match and they beat in succession all of the teams that beat them in the last couple of months, earning a title shot against an unbeatable team in Fraxium that looked like the greatest tag team in the world. What happened to that? Well, that's a different story. That's on SmackDown. So anyway, they somehow beat Fraxium in one of the greatest tag matches in NXT's history. And think of the history that covers. It's one of the top 5 tag matches in the history of NXT. And think of all the people who came through NXT, not recently, but years ago. And so here we go. Now they become the tag champs, and you do nothing with them. They unceremoniously lose the titles to Dork State, who have a terrible tag reign. Dork State loses them to the Hardys for like 2 weeks and gets them back. And it's nothing. And then they eventually lose because Tony D costs them, and now it's Swipe Right as the champions, and they're losing to Pete Dunne in a lucha mask. Like, if you look at like what the tag division has been for the past year, it's an abomination. But it starts with how terribly they capitalized on one of the greatest moments of the last 5 years in NXT with Hank and Tank. So now Hank and Tank in the first round of this tournament, by the way, we don't know who else is in the tournament. We've never seen a bracket. We have no idea what's going on. The incompetence of these people, studied, peer-reviewed. They lose to the Birthright, to Stacks and Ponytail Mustache, because Lexus King just waltzes into the ring and shoves Stacks into his corner and takes a honk. He voluntarily took a honk so that his team could win via oopsie daisy roll up to beat Hank and Tank, who at this time last year was poised to have one of the greatest moments in tag team wrestling, in all of tag team wrestling, all over the globe of the last 5 years. And this is where they are now, losing via oopsie daisy roll up to Ponytail Mustache.
Dave Philippak says Ponytail Mustache belongs in the Sour Grabs Nickname Hall of Fame. I 100% agree. I appreciate, just on the whole, that in your call for NXT's incompetence to be studied, that you assert academia standards, that you want it peer reviewed, because I think it's so important that things get studied properly in these days.
If your study isn't peer reviewed, what have you got? You got nothing. You got nothing.
So thank you for not only calling for them to be studied, but to be done the right way. I think that's important.
The right way. Yeah.
In their defense, they are trying to prepare teams for the main roster, and I don't know if you've seen tag team wrestling on the main roster lately. But you got to get a lantern. You got to get some sort of a nightlight, perhaps, because we're in NXT. They maybe haven't like developed into lanterns yet, but
yeah.
I am offended because you seem to imply that in the ending of this match, you would not take a honk for me, and that hurts my feelings. Those are my biggest thoughts on all of this. I have to take these glasses off because they make me go out of focus.
I would take a honk for you, my wife, and my daughter, and that's probably it.
What a list to be on. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. My mom. I'd probably take one for my mom, but like not my brother and not my dad.
They can,
you know what I mean?
Fend for themselves.
They can fend for themselves.
Oh,
but like it's the top 4 women in my life: my mom, my wife, my daughter, and my co-host.
and you know what's
I would take honk honks for all of you.
I feel like I'm probably the only one that actually knows what it means. So that just
like I'm just tomorrow morning, I'm gonna talk to I'm gonna come up to my wife, give her a hug, and say I would take a honk honk for you.
She's gonna think that there's something else. But yeah, Hank and Tank is I don't want them to be in the trap of if you're funny, you can't be anything else. Cause that story actually had a lot of depth to it.
It did.
And what I loved about it was a tag team story because it was about the 2 of them. And I appreciated that. And I said a couple weeks ago, it felt like we lost what their identities were as individuals within that tag team, and that has only proven to be true since. Someone said earlier, I'm gonna try and find it because I think I said this the other week, and I keep thinking about this. Like, yeah, nobody in the Birthright uses their dad's gimmick name, so
I know
it's really like
it's so dumb. It's just so dumb.
It's extremely silly. But that it now it's something that bothers me. Jambeard saying, shouldn't the Birthright tag team have been the kids of Regal and Fit instead of Stacks? Yeah. Like if you're gonna
you mean the future son-in-law of Santino Marella doesn't do it for you?
Well, yeah, but to the point in that chat too, like the tag team within this group should certainly be 2 people that are actually right, like of the actual sons of the 2 living legends that have been on the show. I think is certainly who the tag team out of that group should be.
Right. No, but I mean, Stacks is the son-in-law, future son-in-law of former WWE WrestleMania Divas Battle Royal winner Santina Marella.
Now, why'd you have to go and remind everybody of that? That was just mean. Jambeard saying worst timeline NXT would be Birthright versus Dark Stink. The tag team divisions, they are trying, like we have this tournament, but it just doesn't feel consequential yet. But they're at least trying to organize the parts, so I give them credit for that. I do low-key weep for my Hank and Tank though. Like that really was such like it was just also like a nice wholesome story too, where it was like these guys who found each other and found themselves and overcame their identity crisis to win the tag titles. Like sometimes wrestling can just be a fun, feel good story. And we haven't had one of those in a long time because if there's anything this product does, it's try too hard on things they don't need to try so hard on and not try hard enough on things that they should be trying on. So it is a bummer to see like they won the tag titles, they lost the tag titles, they went to Pro Wrestling Noah, and now they are jobbers. Like I don't know. It's a bummer. I don't like it.
Yeah. Hendry walks up to Robert Stone and says, "Hey, I want Tony D next week." And Stone's like, sorry. I was Ricky and Ethan came to me first, and I already gave Ricky a match with Tony D next week. I'm sorry, Joe. I'm sorry. I'm powerless as the general manager. I am powerless to make any decisions on my own. That's why William Regal wants me to be the permanent general manager. I'm sorry. I'm so bad at this. And Joe's like, I'm going to get Tony D one way or the other. Like it just, I know you already have the graphic made up. Just show it to me. The 4-way match for Send and Deliver. This is just so obvious. All of this stuff is so obvious.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to do the obvious stuff.
Oh, that's sure. But like the idea of like Ricky gets Tony next week, Ethan's going to get involved. Guess who else is going to get involved? Joe Hendry. There's no way that match has a finish or anything even close to it. It all depends on if they give us 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, or 12 minutes before they actually just have Joe Hendry come in and, attack Tony D. So it's fine. It's fine. Oh, hey, Dork State is beating up OTM out the mud. Out the mud. One half of Out the Mud went on the table because he got knocked off of a top of thing and it went through it outside, and then they kicked the other guy in the face. You know who wasn't there though? Cutler. A few weeks ago, he got stymied by a garage door and couldn't get through to come out, and then the other guys were able to get through the garage door, but he wasn't. That was 2 weeks ago. Last week, he wasn't a part of Dork State. He wasn't there with them. This week, he's not there with them beating up OTM. Did they just somehow grant me my wish to get Cutler out of Dork State?
Well, I'll ask Sean in case he's like for reals injured or something. Like if that was a write-off.
Maybe.
But yeah, he has always felt like the odd man out of the group. And sometimes they like to do that with Stable. That's fine.
Yeah.
But this one seems a little suspicious. I'll see if I can find out anything about that.
I just assumed that they would just have Izzi Dame hit him with a chair. You know what I mean? Like they just beat Jim right out of the group. Just randomly just have the guy get hit with a chair for no reason, you know?
You mean Beej, who does have actual God honest nepo ties?
Yeah, it wouldn't be weird. Like Brooks Jensen, you know, a TV veteran who knows what's going on. That guy who actually is the son of a former WWE wrestler.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, the more that guy's gotten the most raw deal out of so many people. You know what I mean? Like Briggs is still just walking around doing nothing. Like that was a good tag team. You could put them back together if you wanted. Yeah. I guess he's on Evolve now. I don't know. Maybe he wins the newly vacant of Evolve title when Jackson Drake gets rid of it. I don't know. But I mean, it was so silly to me when Izzi Dame was like randomly hit him in the back with a chair and like, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Why did we do that? That didn't make a lot of sense.
I don't know. I do not know. But anyway.
Tatum Paxley is very excited about her match tonight. And Thea Hale's very excited for her. Thea Hale's like, yeah, you're gonna kick her ass. And Tatum's like, don't change, Thea. NXT needs more people like you. Just, I don't know, just spike all the water cooler with caffeine. Like, I don't know what, like, there's you could do something to make that more. Kalani Jordan shows up. She's like, stop the act, Thea. Nobody's buying it. And then Jada Parker's like, hey, you and me both lost our feuds recently. I guess we're gonna fight each other now. But and also Thea Hale. This is a triple threat you could just do on a random Tuesday, I guess. I just these three women also feel like they've any of them, if they had actually been given the real push, could have been NXT champion at some point, and their push ends at a certain point and will not be pushed further. And I feel like you could easily do that with it any of the three of them, and they just refuse to do that.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's like there's man, it's just impossible to like keep everybody hot at once. And I this is not new information, but it does make me so sad that like this brand had to give up their tag titles to unify with the main roster because they don't come back around.
No.
And like on the women's side, you have so many great women, and the show, for better or worse, is extremely alliance and enemy heavy. So tag belts would be something that would be really like good to have. And I genuinely hope that like Shawn Michaels would try and fight to get those back because they don't get their fair share of tag title shots around there. And I think it would be such a helpful tool to alleviate some of this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Jacy Jayne is very excited for having beaten Ruca and Zaria again. Not being like, did you see how smart I was that I did this? But like, I totally kicked their butts, which is not a thing that happened, but it's fine. She's delusional. She's Delulu. But Fallon's like, but I lost my title though. And JC's like, you'll get it back. But I have to go through a whole tournament of up to 4 women in order to even get a title shot. Like, how's that even going to happen? But Lacey's like, don't worry, we're gonna take care of Wren and Kendall next week. And Jacy Jayne's like, yeah, she beat up Kendall Gray because she vacated her Evolve title apparently to get to me. So
that cake must have been really good. She was like, I don't need this Evolve title anymore. I got the sheet cake from Costco. Happy camper.
Stone talks to Miles Bourne. He's like, you're going to defend your title at North America title at Santa Livers. Like, yeah, but against who? Well, I have a thought about that. We're going to do a gauntlet eliminator match next week, and the winner of that's going to face you. And he's like, that's okay. That's cool. Who's going to be in it? Well, I don't know yet. And here comes, Lexis King, who's like, I would like to introduce myself into this. And I don't think he's beating Miles Bourne, but I think he's definitely winning that gauntlet.
I think the other person that would be like ready for something like this is Shadow Carver. So if he is distracted with Jasper Troy,
yeah, exactly.
I am a gauntlet pervert, as many of the people on the show know. I love the gauntlet match. I think they're fun. I do wonder, like, is Ethan Page going to try and jump back into that? Because it feels like he's now like moved on, which I think is good. But I could see Ricky being like, you should go get that back. And I'll be on the world, like, using that as a device wouldn't be bad. But you know what? I don't think it makes for an effective online GM, but I do find it relatable how much Robert Stone is just making it up as he goes. Because I get, like, I'm like, I have the seeds of a great idea too, and I'm just gonna say it, hope that it takes shape. I get that. I understand that. I feel that myself.
Tatum and Izzi had a match in the steel cage. It was a very steel cagey match. There was a lot of running people's foreheads into chain link. You know what I mean? It's you know, like the cage match, you know, it used to mean something. But the chain link, like, it can be like, I guess it can be like, you know, back when steel cages were men. No, seriously. Steel cages used to be men.
Their cages.
Steel cages used to be men. They used to be made out of iron bars, and now it's like chain link. And it just feels like, you know, especially like, and I get it. These two women are really good together, but the steel cage to me took away from the match they could do with each other, because they were agented to, hey, why don't you throw her head into the steel cage like 5, maybe 6 times, and then she'll do the same thing to you 2 minutes from now. That'll be scintillating television. But no, I want to see these women settle their feud, like where they're actually wrestling each other and not just playing ping pong with their bodies off of a steel cage. And it's just me. I did appreciate, and I know another guy who appreciated it, that it was not an escape the cage match. It had to be pinfall or submission, you know? That's right. Nobody's going to sashay down the steps like a debutante presenting himself at the policeman's ball or whatever, walking down the stairs like Damian Priest did. Right away, Damian Priest and R-Truth are going to be the next SmackDown Tag Champs. What's this world coming to, McMahon? I'll hang up and listen.
My favorite part was, I knew you were teeing up Jesse, but in my head you were still going for Avatar Jesse for when you I keep forgetting you have the action figure, so the jump scare is incredible with him.
There's a prop now. There's a prop now.
He's right. Tiny Jesse Ventura is absolutely right in this. Like, escape the cage matches are stupid, and I like that this was pinfall or submission. I do feel like because, and this is just the way they do things. So this is not. This is whatever. This is the rules that they're operating within. It's hard to do a cage match that's produced this way when you can't have blood or you're not trying to have bleeding, because it's like the whole idea of the blow off is that it feels ultra violent, and you're like, we can't do ultra violent. We can only do medium high violent. So if you're gonna do the like I'm smushing your head into the cage a bunch and you can't get busted open, that just looks like,
yeah,
man, you got thrown into some lattice work, huh? Like, it's just not like it doesn't have the same impact. So if you can't have blood in your matches, I too would prefer that they be produced in a way that showcases things differently. It does feel like it was the right call for the blow off, I'm assuming, of this feud, but I do feel like it for a cage match, it actually had a ceiling on it. That was my cute little way of.
That was a nice little turn of phrase there.
Thank you.
No, here's Luis. They yes, Izzy tried to leave during the match because she was so scared of Tatum. It wasn't. She would not have won if she had left the cage. They mentioned that on commentary a bunch of times. They did do a big. They did a let's both sit on top of the cage and punch each other a lot until one of us gets superplexed off the cage. They did that spot. But yeah, no, eventually Tatum wins with Cemetery Drive, and I was I'm pleased to see she retained her title, and she is moving on to something else. I don't know what you do with Izzi Dame. I'm assuming she gets involved in this we lost our feud with Jada Parker and Kalani Jordan and Thea Hale. She just we'll all hang out together, all of us losers, and we'll fight each other. But Tatum, as she walks up the ramp, she's standing there near the top of the ramp, and a trap door opens, and out from the trap door is she's coming out of hell, don't you know? Is Blake Monroe, who drags her into the hole, the trap door hole, and Tatum drops her title belt, and then so then Blake grabs it and holds it and then pulls the door down, and you hear Vic Joseph say, "There's a little bit of evil beneath that glamour." Not Tatum Paxley versus Mariah May could be good, but not in this horribly incompetent company.
This would have hit so hard when I was in high school doing stage work.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, dude. No. This felt like community theater on the worst level. I hated this. I was like, oh, this would have been so great if I'd turned off my TV 2 minutes ago. Like, I could have just watched one of my favorite women's performers at NXT get to celebrate with her title, move on from this feud. Yep. Well, finally, I'm assuming get to see singles matches out of her because she still has her title. You know what? Same criticism I had for the press conference in AEW, because I was like, you know what? I don't think it worked, but I'm glad that they tried something different that caught me off guard. And so I root for things that I feel like fail creatively that are different than stuff you've done before. Yeah. I felt like this didn't work. I felt like it came across as cheesy and Timu Kane rather than Mariah. I think you don't have to take the woman from hell so literally. But I will always give credit where it's due with like, at least we haven't seen this in a long time. At least this feels like you tried something different and new. I just don't think it worked. It came across as really, really corny to me. But I don't. What a way to go out. I will say, very cool to have women's matches open and close your show today. That's refreshing in a world where we're constantly fighting for women's screen time. That evaporates from AEW as soon as Mercedes Moné goes away, or they just decide that Jade Cargill doesn't defend her title and that the US title is held by a jobber in Julia. So like I credit to them for that, because they've always been good with that. But it's very cool to see it be like what naturally happened, instead of like, look at us with our women's matches, important places. Like, it's just the things that were on the show today. It's very cool.
Yeah. Yes. Let's do some puns again. Apparently, I didn't know this until the show was in the middle of the show, but apparently it is St. Patrick's Day tonight.
Yeah, these are just my blue light glasses that I wear all the time.
Greg Cherry Brand says, Shillelagh. Whoop Patrick. Whoop Patrick. Whoop Patrick. And a drop potato hold.
Very nice. Very nice.
Rafael Garcia says, Lucky Cannon Charms. And 4 Finleaf Clover.
Very nice.
This is fantastic from Louisville. A cultured and literate man, Louisville. William Butler Yeats.
Very nice.
That's great stuff. Nice. But the former English major in me, off of the cap to you, sir. I tip my shamrocks to you, sir.
Oh, the highest honor.
Greg Cherry says leprechaun.
That is like right
Irish springboard. Conan O'Brien Danielson. Whiskey sour graps. Lovians. We love you too, Greg Cherry.
Thanks, Greg.
Christopher says Nigel Pint of McGuinness.
Knows his target audience.
Meet Norma says Keith Shillelagh, Jim Corn Beef Net, and cabbage. The Emerald Ivy Nile. The IRAPA. Aaron Gobron. Bangers and Masha. Tullamore Dewdrop.
Man, that broad one got me good. Aaron Gobron is really good.
Alan Jeanette says Irish Cactus Jack Cocktail and Bailey's and tequila. Chris Perez says Dublin's Dorado, and Kilkenny Omega. And Tom Valley says Malachi Black and Tan Hadson. Good.
No,
Malachi Black and Tan. Malachi Black and Tannhausen. That's very, very good. Meet Norma says, oh, Davy boy, the Roddy Pipers are calling. From Glen Jacobs to Glen Jacobs and down the mountains hide. The Dash Kingdom says Tony Leprechaun. 0 pepper steppers. Because they don't season their food. Dwayne the Shamrock Johnson. The Bowl Snatcher. Potluck Folly. Irish. Kiss me, I'm Irish.
Irish sounds like Apple just created a roosh. Like a...
Roman Rainbow, Shamhausen, and Royce Whiskies.
Zero pepper steppers is incredible.
My question is Royce Werekeys, not like that's what I would like to know. Norman says Bishop, Leprechaun, Dublin Balor, and Dragon Whiskey.
Very nice.
Silver Apocalypse says Robert Blarney Stone, Ace Austin Whistle, Chelsea Green Beer, Figure 4 Leaf Clover, Celtic Nikki Cross, and Liv Morrigan. The Morrigan. Very good.
Very good.
Let's see here. Jim. No. Here we go. Here we go. Meet Norma says Limerick O'Shea, the tribal corned beef, Dannyhausen. The tribal corned beef and Dannyhausen. Oh, Dannyhausen. The teeth are calling.
I thought you were going to say Pipehausen, so that works too.
No. Spidey Boy says, Alex, Kate, you guys look great. Young Buck of the Irish, Shillelagh Cool, Belfast Lane, and the Dropkick Buddy Murphys.
That's really good.
Mike Sucklow saying, of course, the sixth best tag match was, of course, Wagner and O'Reilly versus Imperium.
Greatest tag match of all time, actually.
Here we go. Spidey Boy says, maybe Cutler James was taken out by Brandon Cutler to assert himself as the new OTC, the one true Cutler. Finger.
Could be. Feud of the century. Not mad about it.
I like this. This is a Simpsons reference. It's a whacking day. Yes, it is.
I remember that episode with remember how the yellow characters with the fun hair and stuff?
Jambeard says Braun Beaker.
Is Beaker an Irish thing?
I don't know.
Are you thinking Beaker from the Muppets? He could be Irish.
He could be. I don't know that he is. You have, I think. Hold on. You have just actually a few of these. Hold on. One more. This is something. You sent us the money, so off topic. This is off topic. Should AEW suspend or fire Ricochet for his recent activities on X, such as attacking a lady with MS just for criticizing his acting? I am not aware of any of this, so I can't really speak to it. But I don't think they should fire him.
No, I feel like firing him would be an overreaction. I don't know what AEW should or shouldn't do. I know what he should do. I think he should. I mean, he already publicly apologized, but he needs to make it right with that woman. Privately, and he needs to probably put his money where his mouth is, as far as one, educating himself about MS, and two, hopefully donating to a charity or something, because that was beyond over the line and such a disproportionate response. I think at a normal corporate job, that's probably grounds for dismissal. I think in pro wrestling, that's like a 3 out of 10 on the horrible people scale. So however you choose to interpret that is up to you. I think it was in way out of pocket. And I hope that his apology is sincere, and he said he would try and do better, and I hope he does. That is an absolutely brutal thing to live with. If you are aware of it or know anybody who has it, wishing that upon someone isn't something that you can like do lightly. And he also, like, his Twitter game is heated, but it's not like MJF. You know what I mean? Like it didn't feel worky in a sense,
right?
So that was shitty. That was shitty. Alex has no idea what happens on Twitter because he's smart and he stays off. So
yeah, stay off of there. I'm like on there maybe for 5 minutes a day. Like, it's not a thing.
Usually to like send a message to me, or
usually to send a message to you. Yeah, that's true. We have some good jukeboxes in here. So there's a duet in here, but last night we found out that you have a new impression. But
Dude, the problem. I think I nailed it.
Lieutenant Photo says the Stone Cold Cateston sings "I'm shipping up to Boston."
Hold on, I'm opening the lyrics right now.
Points if you can work in.
I said one thing.
Points if you can work in the word exorbitant.
I'm a sailor peg. I've lost my leg. Climbing up the top sails, I lost my leg. I'm shipping up to Boston. Whoa. I'm shipping up to Boston. Whoa. I'm shipping up to Boston. Whoa. And that's the bottom line. I'm shipping off to find my wooden leg. I'm a sailor peg. I've lost my leg. Climbing up the top sails, I've lost my leg. I'm shipping up to Boston. Whoa. I'm shipping up to Boston. What? I'm shipping up to Boston. What? I'm shipping up to Boston to find my wooden leg. And it costs an exorbitant amount of money. It's not a good Stone Cold impression, but it's not the worst.
It's not, but it's so good anyway. I don't care. I love it.
It needs
Braun Strowman
fine-tuning.
to sing "Home for a Rest" by Spirit of the West. So I will go ahead and home. So home for a rest. Lyrics. You'll have to excuse me, I'm not at my best. I've been gone for a month. I've been drunk since I left. These so-called vacations will soon be my death. I'm so sick from the drink, I need home for a rest. We arrived in December and London was cold. We stayed in the bars along Charing Cross Road. We never saw nothing but brass taps and don't keep a shine on the bar with the sleeves or a coat. You have to excuse me, not at my best. I've been gone for a week. I've been drunk since I left. These so-called vacations will soon be my death. I'm so sick from the drink, I need home for a rest. Take me home. Get these homes for a rest.
Crushed it. I thought Braun Strowman was in the room with me, to be honest.
O'Brien Ben wants Nya Girl to sing Zombie by the Cranberries.
I can do that. Another head hangs slowly. Child is slowly taken. And the violence caused such silence. Who are we mistaken? But you see, it's not me. It's not my family. In your head, they're fighting with their tanks and their bombs and their guns. In your head, they are crying. In your head, zombie, a. What's in your head? In your head, zombie, a. Oh. Yeah.
So this is great. This is a duet. Alpha Garcia wants Nya Girl and my version of Liv Morgan.
Your version of Liv Morgan.
Your Nya Girl and my version of Liv Morgan to sing "Shoes" by Kelly. I guess we'll just do back and forth stanzas if you have the same thing that I'm looking at here.
I do.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Shoes. Oh my God, shoes.
Let's get some shoes. Let's get some shoes. Let's get some shoes. Let's get some shoes.
Shoes. Oh my God, shoes. Shoes.
These shoes roll. These shoes suck. These shoes roll. These shoes suck.
Shoes. Oh my God, shoes.
Let's get some shoes bet.
Oh, fantastic! That's just so great. Wow. Just hey, you didn't think you could get through the day without me here? That I'm here too. I'll sing something. Oh, Danny boy, the pops are calling. What? Any other good Irish song for me to sing?
I kudos to you for knowing it was St. Patrick's Day because we didn't know at all.
Oh, we are celebrating up here. Let me tell you that damn.
Got soda bread up there?
Yeah, we got soda bread and we got Guinnesses. We got so many Guinnesses. We got Guinnesses coming out the wazoo. There's just Guinnesses from here to the everywhere else. I don't know. There's lots of Guinnesses. We hold the Guinness Book of World Records for the most Guinnesses. So it's fantastic up here. We love that. Anyway, just wanted to jump in here and say on Friday night, my boy Cody Rhodes got what he deserved. Anyway, I gotta go back because there's a Guinness with my name on it. Bye, everybody. Hello.
Hi, Ricky.
Tom LaValle wants me to sing Being Green by Kermit the Frog. So I will sing Being Green. Not easy being green lyrics. Do you know what's it? Do you know what leads you to the pot of gold? A rainbow.
Oh my goodness. You've always been the pot of gold of our little show. So I think that's really sweet.
Okay, here we go. See if I can there we are. It's not that easy being green, having to spend each day the colour of the leaves, when I think it could be nicer being red or yellow or gold or something much more colourful like that. It's not easy being green. It seems you blend in with so many other ordinary things, and people tend to pass you over because you're not standing out like flashy sparkles in the water or stars in the sky. But green's the colour of spring, and green can be cool and friendly like, and green can be big like a mountain, or important like a river, or tall like a tree. When green is all there is to be, it could make you wonder why, but why wonder, I'm green and it'll do fine. It's beautiful and I think it's what I want to be, but I also want to be orange and red and yellow and indigo and blue and violet because I'm Ricky Rainbow, so I've got to be all the colours.
You are. And an enigma. That's not a color, but
no,
is what you are.
Yeah. Anywho, so
did you celebrate St. Patrick's Day?
Well, I got the necklace on, don't I?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So no, I try not to drink as much anymore. So
oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really hard when you go down there and you say, "Hello, yeah, I would like a virgin whiskey sour." They don't really know how to make that,
No.
I want they wouldn't really work so much. So
yeah, it's not the best.
So yeah, but I try to to hang out with my friends who are still drunks, and it's I'm the designated driver, the DD.
Oh, nice.
The DD, Ricky the DD.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's very kind of you.
Yeah. Of course, they took my license away in 1978, so perhaps it's not the best thing for me to be the DD.
But probably safer than drunk driving. So
we'll safer than drunk driving, so it's all right. I still remember how they say it's like riding a bike. You never forget how to drive.
Do they say that?
No. Anyway. Keep cool, gabagoos.
Yeah.